Hey everybody, welcome. It's Thursday afternoon in the Pacific Northwest. That means it's time for the Hunter Pence Sweatsuit Invitational, a 32 streamer 4-pod draft extravaganza. Yes, I said it. And we are playing single elimination best of 3, and today's format is weird. We're doing a multi-booster, multi-pack, multi-set chaos draft. The last time I did Chaos Draft on MTGA Draft, which is the site we're going to use, it did a thing where like you chose what sets you wanted to do Chaos, and then it mixed them all together. So like a given booster pack almost looked like a cube booster because there would be cards from all sorts of boosters. A traditional Chaos Draft, you know, we bring 24 different boosters and we draft 24 different sets. That's a classic way to do it. But in this case, I don't know which one it's going to be, if there's a way to do it that way or whether we're going to get it mixed in. Either way, the main thing to remember is that given that it's going to be a mix of sets, synergy stuff is going to be hard to come by. We're going to be looking more towards raw power, efficiency, 2-for-1-ness, you know, value, raw power, and efficiency is really what we're looking for here. Bread and butter limited stuff when you know that the synergy is not really going to be supported. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That I mean, Senryoku does so much to this website. I figured that it's been so long since I did Chaos that straight up booster style Chaos may be available, but we'll take a look. We'll see how it plays out and go for it either way. And either way, I do want you to check out my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. You can do that through my affiliate link in the panels and the Twitch page, the notes of my YouTube videos, and of course in chat there's always a link as well. And if you let them know you got there from here, it helps keep me on the air. And so look, yeah, the whole pack is M21. Looks like it's classic Chaos Draft style. Shacklegeist, high flyer, can only block creatures with flying. And look, I've learned the new feature. Look, right click works on this website now. Speaking of Senryoku constantly adding stuff, how about Shacklegeist? How about right-click zoom to see Shacklegeist? I'm liking Cultivate, though, as a place to start in Chaos, because then if you can find the random green fixing throughout the different sets, then you can set yourself up to play a little of everything, you know, get the best stuff. So I like Shacklegeist, Havoc Jester as just, as I said, you know, there's not a lot of synergy going on, so you can just take raw power. But I like the Cultivate to start. We're going to start there and see about that. Now, Umori is interesting. Even as just a 4/5 for 4 that says choose a card type and spells the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. Like, even without companioning it, I think this is worth grabbing. There's a common missing from this this pack, so something was taken out of the common slot. Yeah, if you companion Umori, then this is a non-bow. But who says you have to companion it? Have you ever cast a 4/5 on turn 4 that made your subsequent creatures all super cheap? It's pretty cool. And what's it costing us? We would be taking Go for Blood, Drannith Healer, but again, the synergies for cycling aren't there. So really, I just like grabbing the Umori and being prepared to play it as not a companion. Sir Farron has not been great, but is at least generic. It's like it doesn't require a lot to do its thing. You know, just attacks, and you have powerful. You throw some buff around, but it was never great in this format, so I'm not loving it. We could take Reaper. I mean, I kind of like just the value train here. Right? Like we're just talking about, we want value, we want efficiency, and this is value. This is a 3-for-1, so I'm taking it. Hat's favorite card. Gotta show Hat that it's good. He's not convinced yet. This is pretty garbage, but we could take him. Is Meteorite playable in this format? I don't know. Battle Rattle is okay. We could take that too. Just making random attackers bigger tends to be able to push some damage through. It is fixing and it's removal. It's fixing and removal. How could we not love the Meteorite, right? In this format, it might be okay, but maybe you start saying this format too much and then you have a slow mess that can't win anything. I think I'll take... The Gnarled Sage is tempting, but I'll take the Battle Rattle. It does something. Shock still being here makes me happy to have taken the Battle Rattle. I mean, we could also just take a Wind Mage. Instant or sorcery spell buffs this. It's a upside Wind Drake. But Shock is Shock. Last pack we had a 5-mana Shock. How about a 1-mana Shock? Here's a 8-mana Lightning Bolt. I like the Spark Tongue Dragon too, but I think Shock is probably a better place to be here. Jund them out right now is what we're doing. I want this Cultivate to be good. I hope we can find our way to stay in green, but it really hasn't been flowing since the Cultivate Umori. Oh, hasn't not been here either. This is better than if you're looking to turn sideways, effectively Combat Maths is a 3/3. It's an interesting design, but it often can't be blocked. But then you just have the straight up simple Soldier and Interdiction. I think if we're looking to cultivate our way to play all sorts of colors here, we probably just want the removal spell over the slightly upside bear. So that's what I'm going to do. Take the expensive pacifism. Well, Seer needs you don't like to have your fixing be in 2 colors. It's a big ask, but if it's a Naya pile, that we don't necessarily have to play the Reaper. And everything else here, Revenants, everything else just whatever, so I'm going to take it. Feels like the most powerful card in the pack by quite a bit. I believe this makes Treasure. Ooh, this is interesting. Deal 1 to everything, draw a card. It's the floor of pay 3 and cycle it is not good, but it's not awful. You can replace itself, and if you happen to get them, if they're playing a lot of 1 toughness and you're not, you can get them. But Pirate's Pillage, I think we take the Pirate's Pillage. This is the type of card that can be gluish in your... I mean, it's expensive, 4 mana. But draw 2 cards and create 2 colorless treasure tokens. Like, that's fixing for this deck. So it's a little clunky, but we're going to take it and see if we can't support it as the draft goes on. Or have it be our support for 5 colors, really what I mean there. Yeah, Ogre there is fine. Secret Reach, right? We'll get them. Nobody knows that has Reach. As soon as it costs to cast a spell, discard X cards, target player draws X cards. This seems tough for us to use. Might just want to take a dual land, really. You like the force? Well, I'll take it. We'll look at it. I feel like that... I don't know. Luis was high on this card, and it never worked for me in its original format. But this is a format where we might want to be pitching stuff and drawing, but I don't know. Right now, I don't think I'm playing it. This will take because of lack of anything else. We don't want to be... we're looking to be multicolor, so the henge doesn't make sense. Meteorite, maybe we do end up running this thing. There's the 4-mana Death Toucher, and maybe it would be a 4/4 in a lot of spots. But we're so stacked at 4, I think we'll just take the Meteorite. It will be an excuse to run the Meteor Shower meme. Highland Game... We're going to take over the Spider because we have no 2s yet. And this, we hope not to play just because it's hard to hold up 3 for a combat trick. Well, you know, what about Nissa? I'll shake some worlds. Yeah. Can we get a New Horizons back? Or what do we want? A Snare Spinner back would be nice, or a Guild Globe. I want one of these 2s back. But if they give us the Pledge of Unity, I'm down with that too. All right, this is selected, right? Confirm the pick. Better do that before I disconnect. I thought I made this thing go away. I did all, like, darn it. It's not locked. Oh well. Oh well. Hey, it's Dominaria. Hey, Dominaria, what's up? What you got for us? What colors are we? We're green. We're green, red, green, white. Naya, base Naya. Chronicler, maybe? Academy Drake's okay, but we're not very blue. What a lousy Dominaria pack. There's Rona. But Rona is not really what we're doing color-wise. So I think we just take the Chronicler and maybe we cast Cultivate a second time or something, or a Shock. But really disappointing second pick from Dominaria of all sets. This is sad trombone. And yeah, it does play as a 2 as we need it to. Pattern matcher going to be tough in this format to match many patterns. Ferocious Pup. Soul Salvage jumps out as like, okay, you know, we're looking to, oh, Gruesome Fate does not jump out as anything. Oh yeah, it's just Spotify. But see, it still hasn't gone away. I don't know. I'll worry about the draft. No, but we're anything. I mean, with Cultivate and Seer and an intention and Meteorite and an intention and treasure tokens, the idea of what we're doing here is that we should, by the end of things, be able to be anything. Wow, look at this Mardu pack. Fizzy Wizzy, I guess. Not the worst for us. Again, helps, you know, just generically does some good cycling for a deck that's going to probably need to. Glad we're filling in the 2s a little bit here with stuff we're willing to drop early. What do I need to do, Gannett? Hold on, I'll look. I set this thing before. Yeah, full art mountain for Mama. We can use them, but I'm not going to draft them. What am I going to draft? Everybody's taking all of our cards. We're left with Dimir when we're Naya. This is best of 3. Cutlass with no pirates. Ugh. Canopy is a decent sideboard, I suppose. I just want something better for the main, but there's just nothing here, is there? There's draw a card. Yeah, this is rough. These packs have not been good, and I feel like I'm not in the right lane. It's not a great combo. Collision is a good Naya spell, though. Collision Colossus. We can take that and be pretty happy about picking that up here. Rendhorn, also playable. Wouldn't mind a Guild Gate just to add to our colors. Umari's not amazing here, but still going to play it. Just name creatures and have cheap creatures. That's all right. We can take a bug catcher. We can take a shelter. We are looking to be Naya Core here. Play the Seer and all these red cards. Shelter. Splans are just powerful. Bug catcher, though, just slots in and can be a 2. But yeah, as pointed out, this is a synergy card, and we're not in a synergy format. I mean, I could look for it. Maybe we have random synergies, but shelter just so good as a splan. We'll just do that. Concordia Pegasus is an early play. It blocks, it attacks in the air. Sabertooth Mauler and Turret Ogre are kind of better cards once on the battlefield, but obviously more expensive. I'm thinking we need to keep our curve low. Secure the Scene is has the same problems as Raven Form but it doesn't make a flyer, and it costs a lot more. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it did go away. You're right. Well, I'm glad it did. And I'm glad because I was kind of bummed. It was like, I tried. I did actually try to fix that and it didn't work. Pledge of Unity came back. Are we creaturey enough for this, or do we just want the links? I mean, it's an instant. You can use this as a combat trick. I'm going to take Pledge. Pouncing Links is solid, and I would totally play it in this deck, but I'm going to go for the upside. Disciple has never been a card I liked, but we may need the curve here. Fall of the Thran. 6 mana Armageddon's not what we want to be doing. Yeah, Pledge makes it less embarrassing, but I'm still not happy with this card. I'd be happier with a Greenwood Sentinel at 2, for example, and we will take that. Rocket, what's up, buddy? Don't love how 3-color we are. You know what I mean? I don't know if we have a core color pair. It seems like you don't. If you're going to be green and it's your source of splash, you got to be base green. But then white and red are really fighting to be the other side. But we could take a Dauntless Unity. I don't know what our warrior count is. I'm going to take the Unity and see. But I'm feeling now lower on creatures. Maybe I should tie break towards creatures in the future here. Hey, Mama, look, we got it anyway. Mama wanted the full art land. Success! Tajik's Naya boss. Conclave Tribunal is Naya removal. What do you think? It's gotta be Tajik or the Tribunal. Tajik much better if you're like a dedicated Boros aggro. Yeah, we could certainly use critters. You're not wrong. Ah, so good, though. This is premium removal. Banneret, also good here. What are we wheeling from this? Not much. Not much on the wheel. So this is the only good card we're going to get. Yeah, we do need creatures, and Tajik is an excellent one, so I'll take it. But that really hurts to pass that removal. Mending is fun. I don't know if we're at it, though. There's Llanowar Elves for ramp down there. Migration. Slimefoot is just kind of bomby, and we can splash black, but we haven't picked up a ton of fixing. Some. Everyone wants the Mana Elf. I'm a little down on the Mana Elves. I like fixing. Just ramp is... I'm going to take Slimefoot on power. I think Llanowar Elves is less powerful in limited than I would like it to be. for at least for that pick right there. Farfinder, probably what we need. Grim Dancer is cool, but it's double black. We're certainly not doing double black. And Farfinder is a creature, and it does the thing. All right, still a little shaky in terms of all three colors demanding some earliness, but I like that Farfinder a lot. Playtime for Rocket, sounds like. Stampede, Spland, Electromancer, obviously less good here in this format. Veteran Adventure is just big. Stampede is play. We have that effect. I mean, this is would be the best of the effect, but we do between Pledge and Dauntless, we have the job done, and it is a good. But it's a Spland, right? I mean, that's great, and maybe that is worth it. Yeah, big would have been second, but I have a hard time passing the spell lands. They're not going to be plentiful in this format, and they are just extra spells, and I love it for that. Scampering Scorcher, we have some go wide that we can lean into now a little bit. Mammoth Spider, though, a heck of a friend to Nissa, right? Protect Nissa with Mammoth Spider. I'll have Protect Nissa with 3 chumps, right? That's not bad either. I think it's Spider or Scorcher, and I'm torn. Sentinel also seems all right. But looks like what it is, Scorcher? Scorcher was definitely the right pick. That's why I left it there. Rugged Highlands for some fixing seems nice. What do we give up for that? Rooting Moloch is pretty good in that it can cycle, and if whether you have something else or not, obviously better in its home though. Yeah, we can take Highlands here. Enough playables. Yeah, totally. That's super helpful. And I don't know where I'm at on red or white to support the base green, but I'll take a Druid of the Cowl here. I passed that Land War Elves early, and Druid of the Cowl has similar problems, but is a better blocker at least. I mean, it's more expensive. You pay for that. But I think I like the Druid. Yeah, Colossal Majesty. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Yeah, it's a card draw engine. We could take that. That's not bad. But I'm going to go with the 2-drop ramp. I think that's going to serve us well. Siege Worm as our big end? Sure. Better than Grappling Sundew, I think. Naya, good stuff. Good? Naya stuff. Swath Cutter Giant. I think that's going to be okay for more top end for us. I think I like it better than anything else going on here. We could collar the Culprit. It's best of 3. This would be good against some decks, I suppose. I'm going to go with the Giant, though. Feels like this could be very good against other decks. Wreck them. Like somebody would take a Sapling Migration and a Spore Crown Thallid. I think we could take... Will we play this Migration? I think Migration plays with us, right? We're trying to go wide enough. And we got Convoke. I like it. 3 color, go wide, go big, all at the same time. Perimeter Sergeant, yeah. We'll take the Sergeant. I don't know how many humans we have, but I think I like it better than that weak trick. This might play, but this is the kind of thing you cut. It doesn't hurt you, but it doesn't really help you. I just don't think we're going to have room for that as we make our cuts here. Same thing with this stuff. Although I'll take a Maniacal Rage. Maybe we come up against someone we think that, like, yeah, we just want to rage something on 2 or 3 and then get there. Yeah, Mysterious Egg is exactly the kind of thing. Wow, this is pretty good for last pick, right? A Motivator's playable. Yeah, Tajik plus Rage. Well, I'm going to cut the land to see the total number of cuts that we've got. We've got some spell lands here. Boy, yeah, we could make, certainly cutting the Maniacal Rage. Let's cut the Motivator. And yeah, I'm kind of on, maybe on the Chronicler, because you can consider this a late card too, except it's double red. Battle Rattle turns some of the tokens we have into real threats. We can cut Trebuchet. That's not how we're trying to win here. Probably cutting Reaper. And do we want, there's this Black Splash we have the access to, but seems a little greedy, even with, we do have multicolor fixing in the Seer. And wasn't there one other place where we could, yeah, like Meteorite if we run it? But I think we're already stretching the mana enough to be 3 color. So if we had more, like if we had Cultivate power level stuff that just ongoing did 5 color, you know, your Birds of Paradise, your Goose, that kind of thing, then you can get greedy with the splashes. But since we need cuts and our fixing isn't amazing, it's only solid, I think that's fair. And it does help us. And maybe I just cut the Chronicler as well. And we are core green, white with just playing our excellent red stuff. And maybe we even get rid of the Pirate's Pillage because of that, since we're not leaning too heavily on the fixing anymore. Scorcher, I think, is doing what we want. Is Battle Rattle Shaman enough to play as the lighter colored, you know, if red is our splash, you know? I'm going to say no. Again, we need the cuts. Yeah, Canopy should start in the board. Good call. I just didn't kind of see that. Disciple could even sit. Again, I don't love this card. Rob says cut the white. Trouble. Yeah, I mean, we could go red, green, black. We lose Tajik, Pledge. There's enough going on in white. I think I'm going to keep it, Rob, but I hear you. It's not amazing. I think now I kind of want to export this to Arena and carefully finish it there. Carefully meaning watch out, don't put stuff in your collection that you mean to put in your sideboard, Ryan. Let's go back here and build it from here now. See if there's anything in the sideboard that I can cut from crafting. One common, one uncommon. I think we can handle that. So if we did this, our land count is 15. Does that doesn't count the splans though, right? That's 15. 16, 17, which still feels maybe not enough, but we do also have Druid of the Cowl and Seer. So it actually might be. And Farfinder, yeah, actually, and Cultivate. I think we can go with this. Keep it trim on lands, hoping that we can use these as spells, lands as desperate, but if we can use our spells to ramp and fix. It's asking us to main deck a swamp because of Umari, but we're not done yet. We're not going to leave that in. And 14-11, still naming creatures with Umari and still running it. This is creates creatures, so we're decent on creature spells. Kind of a weird one. Got some obvious spikes in power. Solid enough mana. Let's cut this swamp and figure out what our actual spells are. Oh yeah, I gotta add that. That's in sideboard here. Thank you. Carefully bring that in. That is a nice replacement for that swamp. Now, what does that give us? We get 5, 6, 7 white, 6, 7 green, and 4 red. Plus over here, you can count Path. Farfinder bumps that to everything, so it's 8, 8, 5 on turn 3 with Farfinder. Cultivate pumps the others. Maybe we need to go up on green and down on red even, and really embrace that red is what we're trying to splash here, and that Farfinder, we might miss an early Tajik, but that's about the only thing before turn 4 that needs a red unless we're shocking something. Do we want, I mean, Nissa is not going to, like, Nissa is a reason to not mind flooding a bit or whatever, but I don't think you necessarily play extra lands because of it. I mean, as long as you have any, she's in good shape, right? I don't think it's a priority, but maybe I'm undervaluing making sure she's got fodder. I just think she's going to have, like, any fodder is enough, is my feeling. And let me get to the... Pretty good, pretty good. Earth, but I think we should go for something Nissa-y. Although I can't come up with anything, so... But Naya's too spoilery. Starstruck, because the meteorite. How about something about world shaking? Well, I guess meteorites shake the world. Shower time. I hit the shower. And let's see. I'm not seeing my opponent ready yet. 5 plains, 2 mountain, 7 forest. Let's get better ones. All right, let's call this fine. And I'll say ready. Friend system challenges hanging, of course. Well, here, I'll try a quick restart, see what that does to help things. Oh, I'm in a feature match. This is where I have to use Discord. Watch, it's gonna work. Shut up, Hat. I hear you. Join the channel. You can mute and just share screen in the feature match Discord channel. So join the channel and mute. Feature match. And then, how do I share the screen? What? How do I do that? Let's see. Share my screen. Share my screen. Right-click user for more actions. That's me. Share screen is at bottom by name. User setting. Oh, wait. Okay. I got it. Okay. We're going to go MTGA. Hopefully that works. Hey, I am that parent. I am that child helping that parent. You're so mean. All right. Well, now it's not my fault. It is stinking Magic Online or Magic Arena not doing the friend challenge system very well at all. So, not sure what to do. Let's see. I'll get her. What is she streaming as? She's not even on my list of freaking friends. Thanks. All right. Now I got to go look up the name. Hold on. And of course, there's 32 names to look through. There we go. I'll try the direct challenge. Let's try that. All right, Sapperling Migration, Concordia Pegasus say we can keep this and maybe convoke out a Siege Worm. I'm gonna go enable emotes. Well, that's scary. I'm going to drop Concordia Pegasus since it can block. And maybe we get out to end up kicking this. Probably not. Probably end up playing that out coming up, but now we can't block that. Stampede tapped Highland game, or we go Stampede tapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's play this tapped to get the Siege Worm ASAP. I'm gonna play this now on that front. This doesn't have reach, so I'll attack, not blocking. Still no blocks here. Yeah, migration into pledge, but you know, I mean, Siege Worm on 4 seems pretty good. Let's see if she goes, "Aw, Siege Worm." Well, that's the one we passed. Let's see. Funny, we can play this and name, well, a name creature, and then we don't have red yet. That's annoying. I think we just play Umari and name creature, and then if we, nothing else next turn, we have Highland game Pledge of Unity. And we're at 7. Might need to threaten to block here, although rough if we have, like, if the Umari doesn't hold the fort, we are probably done for, but I'll be extra conservative and stay back here for threatening at least like Youthful Knight blocks, although with the battlements, everything gets plus, so. All right, that's good. So we can get a couple of spells out. We can play both Highland Game and Turret Ogre and keep getting wide ahead of the Unity. That makes sense to me. If the Collector was enough to hold back that squad last turn, hopefully it will be next, although this Mentor is going to start putting counters on stuff. Still no attacks. We'll see. We're pretty far off from having a turn where we can pious and pledge. We can't, with one land, we don't get there. So this is interesting, though. At 7, maybe we need to pious this turn. Can't attack or block. We gain 2. They can still do everything else with this. Weird to put the interdiction on something like a battlements, but maybe it makes sense. This wall of first strike is also annoying, but hopefully we get through that with the pledge and the Colossus next turn. Yeah, we can pledge and Colossus here, but it doesn't stop the Mentor from plussing stuff. So do we want to put it on the Mentor or the battlements that gets bigger because of the Mentor? I think we do this, and the question is what? Yeah, but this still, it doesn't stop them, is what I'm saying. This doesn't say it can't use activated abilities. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the thing that's growing bigger because of the Mentor, even though it's weird. But it can't block, and we are looking to get a big attack in next turn, so With the reach, though, we don't have attacks right now. We're just going to say no attacks and hope that Pledge plus Colossus next turn produces the big turn we're looking for. Can't Pledge Colossus and Sentinel. We need to, if we're going to do a big attack, we need to like basically be threatening lethal if they don't block. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we at least threaten lethal that way. Yeah, we can Sentinel and then Pledge. I kind of want to Pledge mid-combat. But we can even put it off one more turn here. I'm going to put it off one more turn, put everything off. We can Pledge at end of turn if we want to. But with Amy not doing anything here, we could get greedy. I guess the Colossus still is pretty scary. So yeah, let's do this. We might find something else we want to play. Such as a Sejiri Shelter. Now at 16, I like it. Let's go in and see what Amy's got. Send in everything. Shelter plus Colossus is quite a pair to protect our attackers. Amy's got mana and cards, so this is hardly clean. Now then, that's a trade we can just take. We want to... Let's do the let's kill the Stalwart for sure. Like Colossus, our Highland game. And yeah, we can shelter the 2/2. It's 1 for 1 in each case. Let's do that. Win target gain? All right. Maybe I should have looked and calculated for lethal. I'm real good. You're going to see me on the Pro Tour real soon with the way I calculate my lethal so carefully. All right. Somewhat of a mirror match here. Some smaller stuff getting wide. What can we do? Anything to add given that? Or are we just continuing on? Was there anything worthy of a canopy? Enchantments? We could... I mean, Tribunal is real. But we didn't see any flyers. And I'm not interested really in bringing it in for just one thing. Yeah, we don't have anything like Crush the Weak or anything. Yeah, I'm not willing to bring that in until we see something more than just the one. This could be a find a way to play Slimefoot type sitch, although, again, it gets greedy. It's nice to see it, imagine it, and see how it wins the long game, but it's really would be devastating to have in the opener with no way to cast. So I'm basically going to run it back. You didn't see much to change here. All right, Cultivate into Nissa. Anybody in for that? I'm in for that. We even get Pegasus into Cultivate into Nissa, so she's got protection besides the land that she creates. Starting on Shelter for that reason. Yeah, Slimefoot was so fun to have in Dom Draft for sure. always a favorite. Again with the Stalwart. And us again with the Peggy. Let's see if Amy again with the battlements that allow the Stalwart to attack through a Peggy. I'm gonna call. Snare Spinner, interesting. Now, Cultivate is what gets us to the Nissa right away, but Ravaged Highlands, I guess the same, it really puts this out at the same speed. It's not like we can cast the Shock this turn, so let's go ahead and Cultivate. And get ourselves a Mountain and a Plains, or more Forest for the Nissa. Maybe it's Plains Forest, and then we have the Rugged Highlands. But we might want a red source next turn. So I think we need red. Maybe we just accept that we only have one white for right now, although Unity is double white if we want to cast that. I'm going to go with the Plains. I know Nissa loves a forest, but we don't even need her. It's not like we're going to ramp to 1,000,000 and do something with it. I like just having a good spread of our mana here. We may need to take a turn, like depending on what we draw. If we draw a good defensive creature, we may need to do that. Although Nissa creates good defensive creatures, and we could even have it be a mountain and have the shock up. So I'm going to do this for right now. We probably still Nissa, making a mountain a 3/3, and then being right because let me make sure it untaps it. But untap it. Yep. So I think we do that.
Cannot protect itself. Behold, nature's true power.
Obviously, we can't pick off the Stalwart. Here's another card we passed up, but it looks like we get, hopefully, a Swath Cutter next turn that will be able to block this at least. Shock the thing we can. Pious Interdiction's a great draw. We can get the Adventurer and do this whole thing. I was going to play the Swath Cutter Giant, but in Interdiction on the Adventurer seems better.
Be wary of the ground you walk
on. And they have double blocks on our lands for right now, so I'm going to go Highlands and pass, and then next turn we'll have Dauntless Unity, and we can actually make attacks and not threaten to lose our land on attacks. And Unity only provides a little bit of toughness, but we can give up a land for the sake of Unity, right? And I'm going to play another Forest out. There's not really a thing to do with the mana before, unless because we can't Unity and Swath Cutter this turn. So for no mana value, I'm going to go ahead and pump another forest.
Harness the elements.
And then oh, I guess we don't need that. I was confusing it with the recent one that the Foretell one that needs 5. Tribunal, pretty good. Gets rid of Nissa here, but is it too late? They still have vigilance. They still attack, and I'm going to risk it. Right now, they don't have anything that she doesn't have anything that keeps from taking 3, and we can still follow with the Swath Cutter. I don't even need to show that right now. This doesn't matter yet. Let's send in. Maybe in Wrath mode only, but I'm still going to play out Tajik and get as wide as I can. I'll sandbag the land, though. Oh, does Tajik have haste? Yeah, never mind. I know these cards real well. She's just going to think we had something in hand we were maybe thinking about playing. Ah, well. Looks like she thinks it's over anyway. This doesn't have haste. I know that. All right. Good games, Amy. We got there. Took a win this week. Only took me 5 minutes to figure out how to do what they wanted me to do on Discord. I hate this app. Discord is bad and everybody involved should feel bad. Let me go report my results, though. Chatting with fellow competitors here for a second. Nikolai beat Hunter, it seems. Hello, Amy and Raiders. Welcome. Good games. Nissa makes it simple. Nissa makes you feel like a powerful mage. All right, we're going after Nikolai, let's do it. Nissa, who shakes your world. I should disconnect this now, huh? I haven't looked at the brackets. Are we... Yep, let's see who else is won. Alex won. There's Nikolai. Let's play from down here, although not a bad spot to be up in deck building zone when Nis is out, since my default spot tends to cover up my planeswalkers. My hair toss.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right. Oop. What's this? Ah. Whoa. Hey now. That was an accidental mulligan. I was just trying to give focus back to my screen. Oh well. Free mulligans for Nikolai. We can beat him anyway. We're going to keep this and I guess ditch Meteorite. I have no idea if it was a good hand or not. It was just gone suddenly. But we got to keep this. Maybe we don't send back the Meteorite and we just get rid of one of the biggies. But this feels like, boy, if we get to 5 mana and this is what we're doing, feels sketchy. Still, this is only 5 mana. These are more. And we don't even have red yet for the giant. I've talked myself into saying goodbye to the giant. It's one of the cards we passed. Gonna go ahead and play a Plains and the Migration here, and then Highlands next turn. Find a 2-drop creature or 3-drop creature even. We have the potential for that turn 4 Worm again, but we are not blocking. I like your lands, Nikolai. Well chosen. We'll go wide action. Yeah, I don't have a play here, so we'll play the Highlands. Next turn, we have Interdiction or Ogre. I like that our Meteorite looks like it's going to pick something off here. Eventually. Yeah, Ripjaw is going to be very, very thoughtful and is going to sit around and think about its life choices. Not going to offer attacks, though. I want the saps for the worm next turn, or we can Meteorite. Well, with this offer, that's interesting. They're They didn't offer the 1/1 before. Now they're offering it. But I just like no blocks and... Well, we can even go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7. We can look... I'm going to try to chump or trade here because I think we meteorite next turn anyway. And just straight up kill one of these 2/2s. And which one is it gonna be? The Thallid is not doing anything unless they found some saps. Probably the Deep Root Warrior is the toughest to block. Really need the Siege Worm to stabilize next turn, though, which means we kind of need the sap to live. Although if the sap dies, we do have Turret Ogre backup plan. All right, we really need Nikolai to be out of gasoline. Because he can attack for a bunch here, but if there's nothing behind, we get to trade for one thing and then set up defense for another thing, and then we should be okay. Like, that's pretty scary. But not impossible to defeat. We can even get... We can chump once and then try to set up for some gang blocking. We can cast Tajik, but then not cast Dauntless Unity Kicked. +1/+1 alone may be enough and worth it. We could even... What I'm thinking is hopefully... Well, no, I mean, that Dark Star, that's hugely, like, maybe flavorfully you're talking, but a power level-wise, obviously, the difference between a 10/10 trample and a 10/10 is so night and day. The game designer in me cringes at that. But I don't think we need the +2/+1. I don't think the extra power does as much. So we could also just play this and have Tajik around next turn. This is actually the biggest amount of power on board. I'm going to do this. But we need somehow to trade for that Gigantosaurus without it taking too much from us. And honestly, if Nikolai goes for, say, the Umori and the Siege Worm, then it's only a 1-for-1, well, 2-for-1, our creature and the Dauntless Unity. So we'll see. Maybe we get there. And we can even just go Collector and Worm on 10/10, Pegasus and Ogre on other things that also become favorable blocks. All right, that's great. I don't know how many tools we have to stop the 10/10. I mean, this is this Pious Interdiction was one of our good ones. Let's see. Stampede, Scorcher, Pledge Unity Seer, Cultivate, Farfinder, Collision. Yeah, we really don't have anything for this now. But we can go with Tajik. How do we win from here? Nissa just kind of getting there long term. We don't have attacks though, that's for sure. So we're really just plowing ahead to try and find our bombiest of the bombs. Yeah, 21 to 24, so we are up on cards, if it comes to that. Stomping. If I Unity now... Yeah, I guess this is fun. Okay. Bye, Tajik. Not going to use Unity to save Tajik, even if it were... not that it would have, but even if it would have, I wasn't going to do it. We are falling behind in the beef wars, I gotta tell you. Scampering Scorcher with some go wide, not the worst though. We even technically have Dauntless Unity swing away if we wanted, but it doesn't even like threaten lethal, so no attacks. Nikolai in the tank. Probably asking similar questions about how to eventually win this game. What card Nikolai's looking for. But now we are put to the test. And... how do I want to do this? I like going for something a little sneaky. If we go, let's see, 10, 5, and 3 is still 2 creatures down. I guess to 1 for 1 the Gigantosaurus, assuming he has nothing, which is no guarantee for sure. Anyway, we got to go here for sure. And I think then it's like here and here. And then here, and we throw a token on to make it look like we're coming up with exacts to get the 10, so that it doesn't scream that we've got pump, and that it looks like we're just trying to trade here. And if we can get away here with losing only a turret ogre... yeah, all right. Well, do we get it dead? Maybe? I still think we get it dead, so that's good. We lose our 2 big boys, though, unfortunately. Oh, the flood.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Not that this is unusual or that we are unluckier than Nikolai in this instance. It's just that we really needed some action there and didn't find it. So you got the meme, and now you get a pass and a crossed fingers. At 8, we have just got to try and make some trades. We're going to throw these 2 here, these 2 here, and see if that technically leaves us alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technically leaves us alive. I'm not loving our chances, but I expect maybe we're dead to whatever this card is, but we're not going to play around that which we cannot beat. Now it's like, I don't, there's, yeah, Druid of the Cowl, not what we needed. Gruul beats. Unfortunately, Nikolai's Gruul is a little bigger, better, and badder than ours. And badder in a Michael Jackson way, not in a grammatically poor Magic playing way. So what can we do about that? Anything? Scale the heights. Add a little bit on. Play a Crash the Ramparts and be able to get a little bit bigger. Maybe we need that. And are we shocking anything? Yeah, I guess there's actually a lot of shock targets in Nikolai's deck, so we want to keep the shock. And where can we let go? What can we let go? Meteorite. Maybe we let go of that. It got something there, but it's pretty darn clunky. But maybe we just need all the removal we can get. Maybe this Sarah Disciple. What if I cut the card I hate instead? Then the trouble is I have to remember what I just cut. Is it? Oh, Meteorite. That's why I was off screen. All right, let's try this. I'll try not to snap mulligan. Let's play first and not, well, I'll snap mulligan because of the cards, at least not because of a misclick. This we can keep. And kind of want to give up like one of our, like the Cultivate even. We don't have exactly a place we're really headed here with the Cultivate right now. And creatures and interaction seem more important. Although this unlocks everything. Like we only have 2 lands, and if we get there, like maybe I ditch the Farfinder. Yeah, I guess we keep the thing that is really 2. This is a 2-for-1. This is a 2-for-1 as well, but it's a 1/1 creature in a land, and I'd just rather have the 2 lands here. Especially without our second color. There's our second or third color is what I really meant, but second color is in second behind green. I'll even play this. Sentinel's fine. Well, if you're going to deliver all this land, I want my, you know, I want my Farfinder back, but that's all right. Happy to know we're covered. And let's see, we've got Nissa and only a light red, so I think we get double green with Cultivate. Also have a lot of green in hand. Nissa off the top, snap win, right? Easy peasy. No, that is not what we thought. I'm gonna play the forest because Nikolai knows about it, and we don't need the double white here. All right, deck, we only have 15 lands in here. We're good on them now. 15 lands plus 2 spell lands plus a bunch of mana dorks, if you're wondering why we would be that low. Well, I was going to send in Sentinel alone to make it seem like we have no tricks to lure the Nectar Pot into a block. But now I'm just going to drop the Siege Worm. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can still just send the Sentinel. Train him up for next turn. Or, you know, there's mana here too. Maybe draw some one-for-one trick out of Nikolai. I'd be fine to trade the Sentinel for just about anything. Got some beef. We got a crash. We got a shelter. Maybe the Siege Worm can get there for us on the mulligan. Well, I'm going to send everything, and we have the crash here to win with the Highland game, should there be blocks on that front. Nikolai knows about our mass pump, has to know that we're up to something given the Highland game attack, but we don't really care how he blocks. Honestly, if Crash on Highland game draws out some removal, I'm cool with that too. Now we have Shelter backup if we want to stop any attempt at interference here from happening. All right, they're going for it, and I will prevent the 2-for-1 here. You should just prevent this blowout, even though the Highland game isn't that important. Spell lands for the win. Love spell lands. And yet I hate double face cards that aren't a land on one side and a spell on the other. I'm a very specific guy. What can I say? One feels like design innovation. The other feels like design laziness to me. Pretty good draw. Don't know what else is up in Nikolai's hand, but we're going to ask him a question. Must be pump here to trade for the worm. The transform cards had flavor justifications for what was going on there. I was a little bit uncomfortable with it, but it was not too different. It was not two separate magic cards. It was one magic card that transformed itself because it was one, you know, and you could make that argument for the gods, I suppose. Hey, they're just, but it's not really. It's not like the god is becoming the thing. It's like two cards. Yeah, most of the stuff that's flipped so far has come short of being like, name another card where you could really just you could staple two magic cards together and have the same thing. That's what gets me about them, is that they feel like stapled together magic cards that are justified because legendary rules make design tough. Yeah, I get the gameplay. I get how they help legends. I don't like it from it just rubs me the wrong way. But that's just me. Not every card is for me. It's not going to break the game. It's not going to ruin the game. I just bristle at them. But here I am wasting my sideboarding time. I guess we're just running it back. That seemed like reasonable sideboarding. Well, red is our splash color. We don't have the white for the Legion's Edge yet, but we have Druid into Scampering Scorcher into Big Ol' Worm. We're going to keep. All right, as I say, Nikolai is pausing. Let's see what it is, but it was a cycle. That's pretty good. Yeah, we can just go Umari and maybe just go Scorcher Worm all at once. We'll see. But yeah, I do like the Umari play on creatures here. I don't know if we can get there. Maybe I did the math wrong, but we'll see. I guess it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're a little short, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Scorcher keeps us even without putting us ahead at all. So really, we should just probably Siege Worm it out this way. You know what I mean? Like, we could do Scampering Scorcher, but it's more cute. Really? You think we have it? If I play this, we have 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, right, because it does get cheaper. Sorry, never mind. I'm glad. Thanks for the head check. I forgot to reduce my Siege Worm cost. So we'll do it. Crash looking pretty good here. Ripjaw Raptor is going to get something. Savage Stomp would be really bad right here. Really don't want to get stomped. Really don't want to get stomped. Yeah, my math was just on that I was thinking we needed to get to 7 for the worm, not 6. So that worked out. That was pretty cool. Yeah, given that they were going to do it, Gannett, they did it pretty well. I will acknowledge that if you're going to staple 2 magic cards together and call it a magic card, they did a pretty good job of serving the gameplay and serving the lore and serving the legendary mechanic. But I still don't have to like it. No white to speak of yet. Can't cast any of this stuff, but hopefully Ramparts plus all this is reasonable. Do we ship everything or just the 2 biggies? Probably just the 2 big boys, because we don't want Rapture to be eating 1/1s for cards. Math likes shipping it. I think it's a little too early at 20 life to ship it, but we can definitely send Worm and Umori. I'm going to go big boys only right now. We also have Team Pump that we're looking for. If you're going to do the double, Nikolai should do the triple unless he's got the goods. Like if he's got something here, I understand, but if this works and we just get a 7/8 that survives this, that's going to be super bad for him. But if he's got Pump of his own or whatever, Scuttlemutt can tap for mana. This could just be a bounce off, in which case it's going to be very good for him. Yeah, now I'm not liking it because like he comes up with a 3/3 of his own, and this is less good for us. Just so. Just so. I think you got to go for that, though. I don't know. Maybe we could have played around that. Is that a place where I'm losing my edge against better players, or are top pros not attacking into that out of fear of that? I don't know. We knew that this was a card in Nikolai's deck, so. But this is like forests and mountains are the worst draw in our deck right now. We need anything but that, or anything but that in white cards. But I'm going to play it. Actually get the format correct here, but this record's not correct. Hey, look, it's that thing we needed. Is it in time? Is it in time? I don't know. Swath Cutter doesn't even give us attacks really here. Pegasus, nothing here has reach. Maybe we're supposed to play Pegasus and try to get there with the Pegasus. I mean, this is our best card right now. I'm going to play it. Get there, Peggy. It's the thing that can attack. Nothing else attacks in. I mean, we can send in Swath Cutter alone. And if Swath Cutter is blocked by Ripjaw, at least it's a trade. And it was a decent idea until another creature landed, and now we don't have that attack either. So now we're looking to go wide, find Nissa, find Team Pump. Although all of our Team Pump to do maximum requires double white. Or not all of it, but the two. We have the Spell Land and the Kicker Team Pump, both of which require white. I feel like we had one other Team Pump. Oh yeah, it was the Pledge of Unity. Pledge of Unity we can cast on one white, so that's pretty good. Nikolai can finally crack this locket. Did we see black, or is this just a really rough mana rock? I'm not sure. Tajek and Highland game here, though. Continuing to build out our board, looking for some sort of go-wide victory. Yeah, Tajek does make things a little bit tough. Here's the Stampede I'm talking about. We're going to wait, be patient, find ourselves another white source, and then see if we can't win with that. Don't have anything right now, though. The beef wars are spinning up again. Just when you thought there was some peace, it once again becomes all about the beef. And all about drawing second white sources to be able to do something here. Sap Migration will be nice with that second white source. I'll go ahead and play this. Planes off the top will be pretty cool. We got quite an attack. I mean, it's going to be like, if I get my second planes, we're going no look, gang. Math is for not me. Hey, Robert. Welcome. That's going to go well with our second white source, but we're going to wait till then. Siriana asking questions like, do we die on the crackback? Did I not explain who the math was for? Definitely not for me. Not in this game. Not this late in the day. Come on, though. Planes off the top, and let's do this. Let's do it. All right, now, see, now I got to do math. Now, actually, Collision Colossus says even a 7-7 means I don't have to do math yet. But come on. Come on, deck. Give us a planes and let me just have a little bit of fun before I die. Ready? Blah. Not yet. We have like 9 sources off of lands. What do we have left, though, is the real question, and I can look that up. We have 4 off the top, and then a Cultivate, a Farfinder, and the Seer. So we have 3 non-planes ways to acquire some extra white. We could just try and eat that, but I'm going to take it for now. 1 blocker down on the Stampede if we draw a planes is fine. And eventually we can Colossus up something to trade. But I also don't like this life total climbing back up either. Cultivate and Farfinder get us the Stampede immediately. Come on, deck. Come on! All right, all right, all right. That was one of them. Means we don't get the Colossus along with it, so we have to decide. But let's start by playing the Farfinder. Best Pride Malkin ever? What, because it gave some things trample? I guess that's all right. Yeah, we could wait another turn, and then we get both of these spells, and we get an attacking Farfinder. We're probably going to have to do some chumping if we get attacked by Nikolai, though. But yeah, we can wait another turn. Yes, we can. I mean, I don't know. Like, in order to answer that question, can I wait with all that trample? That would be a lot of math I would have to do, and I can't figure that out. I'll wait until I see what's attacking me and then figure some things out. If they attack with several of their big things, it's, you know, we can figure out how to barely survive, and the key is to survive, of course. Then we do have more tapped things for our crackback as well. But with just the Sandworm, we're going to take it and hope he doesn't have like double the double the attackers or anything. Thrash Malkin. How so? And we get another planes for our trouble. All right. Well, again, this works or it doesn't. Let's find out. Bombard does 4, so Tajik doesn't even... playing the Colossus doesn't save it. Yeah, it looks like Tajik First Strike doesn't matter, so that's not going to be saved. All right, really I joke around, but I should be doing some more careful math so that if I can't win on the front, that we're not dead on the back. I should. I do have a couple of vigilant friends. Yeah, whatever. It's swing all time, isn't it? There's not much else to do here. Besides, me actually trying to figure out the math of this would be some boring television, but you could do it. And Colossus giving something huge trample that Nikolai thought was not going to have trample, it could be the difference. Oh, Rocket. The world is not as rough as you make it out to be, friend. The neighbors are fine. We like those neighbors, buddy. They're all good people as far as I can tell. I've got 3 hourglasses to see where this Colossus goes, because let's keep in mind that Nikolai could have more spot removal, and if we throw this Colossus on something with low toughness, it could get picked out from underneath. So I'm really hoping they go... Yeah, it looks like he's looking to chump the Swath Cutter with the Thallid, which is perfect, because then we can target the Swath Cutter, give it trample, and it's huge, so very unlikely that he's got the targeted removal that's going to take out the 7/7. Yeah, I'll look at the math and certainly won't make a move if we have lethal without it. But let's see. So that's 9 unblocked, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, right now that's on Nikolai. That's 18. Anything here gaining life. Making sure there's no life gain. No life gain. So right now this is on Nikolai and we should have it. And we make Nikolai do something. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even look at the trample situation. We have 3 more, so it's really 21. Aha. So that's going to get to 8 and take out 3 of it, but we get to... It still wins, right? This 3 didn't even matter, right? I think it's still fine. But I'll show them what we had. Still had all these. All right. Look at that. Well, we had a plan. It was hope our go wide gets wide enough and we get big enough, and it worked.
I like it. All right.
There's the brackets. Looks like we're going to have a little time before the next round starts. I'm going to go get a fresh beverage and a little snack, and we'll be right back. I'm going to give you a be right back screen, okay? Hang in there, and see you shortly. Not playing Hades upon return. And I'll say we are back probably 05. There we go. Hey all, looks like we are good to go. So now I gotta figure out, I am 1A, 1B, I'm 2A. I can do this. Except there's somebody else there. Good games, Nikolai. That was fun. Yeah, once you had the +3/+3 for my +3/+3, I was like, uh-oh, now it's going to be a grind. And it sure was, but just got wide enough. So, all right. I'm supposed to go into... I got a feature match again, but there's somebody in my room already. Am I supposed to go in there still? Well, looks like it. Oh well, I'll do it. Yep. That's my take Oliver to work sounds. He'll have to speak with Margaret. And let's see, who are we playing next round? Echo Bravo. Is tournament limited 3 best 3. All right, timer's on. All right. 2-0. Let me get out of your way here. Well, mana coming to haunt us a bit here. Oppo going first. We do have a perimeter sergeant. Any land gets us a play on 3. We don't find green soon, though. A bunch of our hand is stuck. I'm inclined to just mulligan this and be sure we're doing something real here. Because if we miss green for a few turns, which is likely, you know, we're not guaranteed to find a forest in the first couple of turns. I mean, we're infrequently punished, but still. If we don't find it until like turn 3, is that going to be too late? And then suddenly all this stuff is pretty medium anyway. I'm going to mulligan. Wow. This hand is, like, in many ways less playable, but I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Do we throw this back too? This is rough. It's not doing anything. But we do have a meteorite. We could get rid of one of the red cards and try to get there. All right. 5 cards sure could look a lot worse. Okay. This is an easy mulligan, though. I think I'm going to keep. I'm going to go with keep here. We're going to get rid of Sarah Disciple, even though it's a 2-drop. We need power. Like, I'm basically going to keep this stuff because it's the most powerful. Sarah Disciple, we can cast it, but it doesn't do much. And then, gosh, we put Omari back? No, we have to hope that we just find some lands. You like Amari and 3 lands? That's another thing we could do. I'm gonna be a little greedy and do it this way. We have to get lucky, but I mean, it's a mull of 4. Of course we have to get lucky. No problem. We just pick our draws from here. We're gonna go forest next. Then plains, or let's go mountain, I guess. That's not fair. Although, I guess it's pretty good. It's a swing and a miss. I was thinking it was the one from Zendikar, you know, that land is good. We'll take it. I'm going to go ahead and play Plains and Highland game here, but that's a land. I'm in. Let's win on a mull to 4. That'd be a good streaming story, wouldn't it? Basic land. Forest would be perfect. I didn't notice what Oppo did, frankly. I was too busy stewing in my own misery. That's all right. The card wasn't doing that much for us. Druid is nice. Druid Stampede sets up Umari next turn. That might have been our perfect draw, really. Now we're just flooding.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Almost attacked and then saw that I actually need this second green to cast the collector. That would have been dumb. I guess I would have had the perimeter sergeant backup plan, but you can Darkstar if it's funny. Clearly, we've got this. I assume Tokyo or a coast, maybe Tokyo's not coastal. I don't know Japan geography, but it's a Japanese movie, so I assume it's a Japanese coastal city, either fictional or real. Matt made the meme. I'm sure he can tell you. All right. We are also 3 colors. I don't know if you remember that, but yes, with 3 colors. Awesome. Doesn't feel right to spend a Unity to take out the Water Trap Weaver. So it's kind of Hawaii-like that way. I didn't know if there was inland cities. I mean, it's pretty narrow, but you could have told me that there's mountainous, you know, internal cities still. Kyoto, there you go. See, what if it's Kyoto? But it's not Kyoto. It wouldn't be hit. No attack. Sorry, I'm yammering, and I'm gonna try and get more for our Unity. Given a mold of 4, we should try to get a little more from our cards than just trading 1 for 1 for a Water Trap Weaver. We're gonna hope we find some red, hope find our fixing, get Tajik, like maybe that Farfinder would be nice. That would set up getting Tajik down eventually, and then being able to even mentor a bit. We're gonna take these attacks right now. Doesn't look like Echo Bravo is looking to be the tempo aggro deck, but sometimes the cards play out that way. Wrong kind of land, but I'll play it, and I will send in Glimmerbell. Can bounce off the Druid, but the Sergeant eats it. And if we somehow get ourselves into trouble, we do have that Dauntless Unity to save us. I'll give you a second flood meme if we flood out next turn. Well, this looks like to be some sort of interaction. Let's find out what it is and see if Unity saves us and if we want to save us. Well, let's see what this looks like and then decide. So 2-1 versus 2-4, we kick it and we can win combat and save it. Yeah, we should. It becomes a 2-for-1. We'll take the 2-for-1. I was saying I wanted a little more value out of the Unity, and a 2-for-1 qualifies. Oh, I guess not 2-for-1. It's still a trade. 2-for-2. My bad on the math. I was thinking we get 2-2. But better a 2-for-2 than us getting just eaten there, I suppose. Well, now getting punished for our mana a bit. Not much to do with that. Couple of turn clock in the air, and Soul of the Rapids, super annoying. Flying hexproof, you need flyers or or reach in order to do anything about that. Well, this is kind of funny. We're still on a 2-turn clock to the Soul, but look, we got things to do now. Maybe. I guess I'll go for the flyer first, since that's the most important. I don't like these pauses. It means Echo Bravo has something else to do here, so... Druid, I mean, it's barely even worth attacking with the Druid if they've got something flash that eats it, but if they've got a flash creature, we could be dead to the Crackback, and the 1 point of damage doesn't matter much. I'm actually going to say no attacks. Because seriously, a flash ground creature and we lose? I didn't want to do that. And we have, I don't know if we have flying that's 2 power. We've got the dumb 1/3. There you go. The dumb 1/3 on cue. What else is there? Oh, Turret Ogre. So surviving until we can Turret Ogre or Collision Colossus. So we still should try and win this. We are only mostly.
Your friend here is only mostly dead. Tajik could haste in
and this would both win, although we don't get... No, that would trade, so never mind. Yep, we'll stay here. Well, they're getting some info too, showing them our second color, and... But we have a chance to win, so we should try. It's not a great one, but it's a chance, so we're going to try. Could lose here to just removal on Pegasus. Yeah. All right. We do have the flyer killer, but they showed us a hexproof flyer. What else did we see? A lot of removal. Kite Sail Freebooter, pretty good. Winged Words, they're just kind of on a flying plan here. Flying control. You know, we fought pretty well for a mulligan to 4, I gotta say. No shame in that result. Crushing Canopy seems good, even, yeah, we're not going to get that one flyer, but we'll get something. We'll get something, a lot of targets. And I'm going to, Sarah Disciple maybe needs to stay in because it's a flyer, and maybe we can get a counter on it, and first strike, 2 points of first strike against that hexproof could actually hold it off. I don't like this card, but I think we keep it here, and maybe cut like a Highland game. It's pretty ineffectual here. Yeah, I think I cut Highland game as not doing too much. Pretty weak bear. It has 2 power for 2 mana and can attack and block without penalty, though. And sometimes your decks will take any 2/1 in the storm. I got a fresh beverage. That is clearly not it. What did you do with your fresh beverage, Ryan? You probably left it upstairs. Like you do. All right, we got Nissa. Any land we can seer on 3, another land after that, and we can Nissa on 4. So this is an easy keep. See if we can get there. Just need a land before 3 for this seer, and then we need that seer to live, and then I'm pretty happy. So I'm pretty happy. And do we like Sentinel or Pegasus? What's better defense for Nissa? Peggy. So I'm going to actually play Peggy on the strength of... our sequence may be Peggy, Seer, Nissa, so I want Peggy over Sentinel. Really glad we didn't see the... stupid Hand Thiever, the pirate, Sky Pirate dude. Seer, but we'll send Peggy first. Also, do need another basic land for Nissa on 3. This Highlands isn't going to do it. But we need the Seer for ramp, so also going to try this. It could be counter magic, I suppose. Make him have it, though. We got a good follow-up if this gets countered. Sentinel play this tap, still to get Nissa out later. All right. They paused a bunch, but untapped with no play. Not sure what that means for us. Could be target creature gets some defensive stat or something that they wouldn't want to play on ours. Found our basic to get Nissa out. Might mean throwing something in the way, though. Are we comfortable chumping a Noxious Grudion with a land? Because we can also just go Highlands Turret Ogre and have better defense, or even Greenwood Sentinel to try and take something that takes it here. Yeah, I'm going to be one turn more patient on Nissa, but it's risky because they've shown discard, so we could get Nissa discarded. Maybe that's more of a concern, and I just go ahead and Nissa can take a hit. Yeah, I'm being too... I would rather protect Nissa from discard than 2 points of damage from a Grudion, so I'm going to do it. And we can decide whether we want the Pegasus or the land to do the job here.
Surges through these lands.
And I am going to, well, I guess we can even do, let's just play the Sentinel. So I'm overthinking it. I can play the Sentinel, and that's a much better blocker. Yeah. I forget how good Nissa is the bottom line there. Totally didn't even see that I could cast it until I played Nissa and got reminded of what she does. Obviously, we snap block with Sentinel. Thrilled to trade it for anything they've got in hand, but ideally something after we block their Grudian. Hey, if they're reloading, that's pretty good for us. I like a reload there. Snaring land is annoying, but not the worst. Would be nice to meteorite that Grudian, and I think we go ahead and wait for that. Well, we can meteorite it now with a double forest, right? We can just do that. So let's actually get mana. And I'm trying to figure out if because we can do it. We don't even need necessarily to turn the forest into into the land here. And I kind of like getting a plains in this case. So I'm going to go meteorite, tap down the... Although, no, I'm going to do it this way. We'll leave the seer back.
The land fights for us.
Or maybe we don't even leave it back, but I certainly like using the land. I guess if I should have done the land, it would be more damage. I'm just kind of making stuff up now. Yeah, Vigilance made it. I should have done the other one. Sorry, that was clunky, but I'm going to get in. Clunky and incorrect. We're down a point that we should have done. That was a minor punt in terms of amount of damage, but would like to have done it. 13 versus 14 right now on that punt. Kind of they're in a wrath or done situation here, though. This is pretty commanding. Tap 2, untap it, 3/4, play Ogre, still attack with 3/3. Into the Royal, solid. But still, I feel like we're in a commanding position. But I should have started with Nissa, I guess. Is that the lesson? Except I was trying to draw mana ahead of using Nissa, but I could have, I guess I should have made the mana, done the Nissa, and then done the Ogre. That would have played around that. Yeah, if Echo counters Nissa on the way back down or uses black removal to take it out of hand, we just still have the board presence, right? Bravo agrees. I made that one change. I still like it. I don't think this is a crash situation. I like that against red removal and green huge creatures bouncing off each other. Yeah, but if we're doing all this stuff where we tap and untap, and I thought we had to do that first main to maximize it, but maybe it produced so much mana that maximization wasn't even needed anyway. Well, the power level of my cards was enough to overcome some hiccups, but we got there. Another keep. I'm going to start with Stampede and see if we can keep the shelter in hand. If we get a bunch of land after this, we might be able to manage to not play shelter as land. Here's the power of our two. We got 2 spell lands in the deck. They're both in our opener, and while it means our lands are slow, we have such flexibility here. We got Farfinder for sure on 3 if we need it. And if we get flooded from here, if we just draw a bunch of lands, we get to just keep these as spells. Not looking like that so far. Question is there any land we could draw that would keep us off of shelter here? We didn't even draw a land, so it's a no-brainer. We're going to shelter. I think almost no matter what, I'm sheltering as land, though, since we didn't find one right off the bat. Really want to make sure we hit this Farfinder. Or try. Echo has lots of mana and cards, but make them have it. And for sure we want to get our red source. We got 2 red cards in hand. Ogre next turn is fine. Meteorite can pick off that flyer the turn after. That's cool too. And there's no real 2 spell that's appealing, so this is it. Meteorite taking out Diviner on 5 would be excellent as far as I'm concerned. And that's a completely reasonable trade of mana. Pretty good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We put Collector on creature. We can play Peggy and Serpent and Sergeant if we tap correctly. So let's tap correctly. And now Dauntless Unity looks a lot better. We got a Fox, we got an Ooze, we got a Peggy, we got a Sergeant, and we got a Giant. Perimeter Sergeant. Looking around for fellow humans, finding none. All right, with the Druid and us being able to play both of these, we're going to 2-spell creatures and continue to try and get wide here and then get a better Dauntless Unity. Especially after Swath Cutter does the damage to everything. If they go for a Soul of the Rapids attack, we get a lot of damage threatened next turn. Dauntless Unity means... Well, I guess the Swath Cutter means a lot of our creatures are actually... Oh, no! That's huge. So painful. That was a big game for us right there. And here's our other one. Ouch. What is this mutate baloney? Oh, and look at that with the Scorcher. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, do we just start getting for damage now? Because Serpent does not have blocks on Collector or Swath Cutter that kill. And I think we just start to get wide enough that that's our best chance here. But, because also, I mean, what are we doing? Waiting around to die to 7 power in the air each turn? I think we got to do it. I'm going to get super aggro. Brutal discard, though. Maybe I was supposed to sandbag a land at some point. Maybe I played a final land we didn't need to somewhere along the line, but ouch. Pledge of Unity becomes a really great draw here since we're going for damage. Just make our go wide. It's our third go wide payoff, basically. Yeah, Tajik would add 4 damage to the attack between 3 points of haste and a mentorship on one of the 1/1s. This is 14. This would drop them to 5. And they probably couldn't swing with everything unless they had some really good defensive plays beyond what they're showing right now. One-time dealer, Pledge of Unity off the top. Come on. Haster, or again, Pledge of Unity is just like a hasty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage plus life gain. Shock, yeah. If they keep everything back and nothing else changes, they don't add to the board, are we swinging away again? We got to take a look at that. Ouch. That's pretty good. So 2 for 1 in terms of our creature count. But also they really don't have safe attacks here, so we might not have a crack in, but they can't really afford to attack us right now, so a bit of a stalemate with flyers. Maybe they try to find a way to get 1 in, if they can attack with 1 and keep another back and have the Hexproofer be the thing. Worst draw, don't want land, and now we got to think about this. If we send in, everything gets 1 point, so it's a 4-5, a 3-1, and a 4-3. We could send in just the 5-5 and the 4-5, but then they have blocks to kill the Collector. Is that worth it? I guess in order to get the Collector, they've got to put like the Serpent and the cat. Like we get something if they go for the Collector. So I'm going to do it. I think it's correct to do it. Especially having been shown the lack of, you know, that they're empty-handed. Yeah, that seems pretty good for us. And if we take out the Serpent, then a 4/4, Umari gets a 4/4. Fade! 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 That looks good for us. Is that a style concession? Oh, never mind. Glimmer Bell. We never remember the Glimmer Bell underneath, but that should be fine. We just need 2, and they got 2 blockers and no lifelink, so we got there. Woo! How about Exaxes? Edward Zachary makes his return. All right, I'm going to disconnect from that room. Nice. Good deep run. I don't want to fall prey to the happy to be here, even though I am. I want to win this whole thing, but feels good to make a good solid deep run here. And really, let's see, Nissa saved us. How many games has Nissa won us? At least one. How many times have we cast Nissa? Twice? Once? Twice? Twice. Nissa's won us 2 games. Exactly. Let's win this thing. But one goal at a time. My first goal was, darn it, make a deep run in one of these things. And now we've done that. So now, new goal, immediately, win this thing. Feature room 2A, 2B. Okay. Go in there. Share my screen. This is magic, not Shakespeare. We are 3-0, challenging G guards, looking for 4. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Our good buddy G Guards on the other side of the table. Not the first time I've faced Garrett, as he has joined our gauntlet on Fridays here and there. Nice. We can keep this, cultivate into an Umari, and then play this other stuff. All of our colors right off the bat anyway. Can just double up on some stuff. All right, slow down, lands. No more lands. We're good on lands. Got to cultivate. We're good. We're good. Give us some spells now. But this is very solid. All right, I like that. Found a 2-drop. Excellent. No, see, Pablo, it's going to give me a hot hand, and I'm going to come into the gauntlet hot. That's the idea. Well, we could just Farfinder here, except it gets cheaper on Umari because we're going to name creature again, so I'm just going to go ahead and cultivate. For, I guess, let's see, we've got a lot of green. Fortunately, we're pretty good on almost everything. I guess there may be worlds in which we want more white. Not often we're doing multiple reds, so I'm going to get green and, well, definitely green. Yeah, I'm going to do green-white. Maybe getting another red source prevents us from a blowout removal of the land. We do have Farfinder to go fetch another mountain. 5 rounds, if you can win them all. We've got the 4 winners of each individual pod now in the semis, looking to define the finals. Juggernaut, that's real. We can Umari take it for a turn and Pious next turn. Yeah, I don't mind taking 5 from the jugs. No attacks though. And no blocks. Was gonna interdict the Juggernaut, but we could interdict the Deadeye Brawler and just play, you know, block Juggernaut with Perimeter Sergeant. Now I kind of like that. Farfinder thins the deck, which is nice, but it doesn't have much of a board impact. So it's really just thinning the deck right now, and we can go interdict, attack, and Sergeant. I don't mind that trade. Stampede gets better with more creatures, but I don't mind that trade. Ah, thanks, Hat. I wasn't sure if there was a third place battle or not. Hoping this Sergeant lives to trade with the Juggernaut. If Garrett has something to make the Sergeant fail in its job here, that could be rough, and I think he knows that. That's why he's omening main phase to go look for something to make the Sergeant not successfully trade for the Juggernaut. Bottom suggests he didn't see it, but let's see if that third card was the magic stuff. All right, we got all sorts of reasonable stuff here. I'm going to open on Farfinder, look for a pause, see what happens there. Yeah, there's a pause. Now let's see if maybe this gets countered. I doubt it. Probably just want more green. We have everything we need. We're just thinning the land more than anything. Yeah, pause could just be omen. You're right. I don't learn anything from that pause. Good point. And next turn, we can present lethal. McKindy Stampede says 7, 8, 9, 10, and then collision for some trample. Let's see what they do with this scry. I mean, Robert, it's me, so of course we can all believe it. Top, top! Top, top! Garrett! What is this top, top? No? Pretty solid starting for the top, top. Collision Colossus gives 4-2, so we actually make a 7-7 that trades, and we can stampede and still win that's interesting. But yeah, we're gonna go for Stampede. Is this any target? Yeah, so they're at a virtual 8, and Stampede plus Colossus either does a ton of damage or beats the Waker. So we're gonna start stampeding. Going for damage. And this makes Meteorite lethal to the face. Now, Garrett kept 2 on top. Waker was obviously one of them. If the other was something like removal or another blocker, that's fine. Yeah, great. That's what I was thinking. It was probably something like that. What I didn't want is a counterspell. And now we just got to see if he's got a counterspell. Or some random black life gain that somehow gets him a couple. All right. That just gives it straight up. All right, another blue-black control deck, big old Waker. A lot of nice control elements here with Arrester's Admonition. This is not much of a control element, but it's a nasty fellow. Didn't see any flyers. We saw a flyer maker. Could do pull with our flyer-based removal. Did they have any other enchantments that we were worried about? Not really. Oh, omens, but we don't want to use a full card on that. So I think we're just running it back. Although I, again, do not like this Highland game. Maybe there's something, like maybe even Highland game goes and we even put something like Battle Rattle in. Or Maniacal Rage. Although, yeah, I'm going to go Battle Rattle. Just flyers and enchantments. Yeah, if artifacts, maybe there'd be something worth it. But I like the Battle Rattle in for a little oomph. I can keep this on the strength of the Nissa and the Farfinder. We're only a single green source away from getting Nissa out on time, and we just play these tap lands in the meantime if we have to. And with Garrett on control, we're not going to be under super pressure that's going to really punish us for this. And hey, we're never punished anyway. There's our land. We'll start with Stampede. Yeah, the Kicker Wizard is in the sideboard because we're not like heavy red, but it's not bad. We could consider it. I like the Stampede for the late game, but I'm not gonna risk it. Maybe we flood out from here, and I wish that we had this back. But I like where we landed here. Now let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Seer. If we find a basic land or an untapped land, we can Nissa. No attacks here, though. Overseer gives Menace and Hexproof to zombie is it zombie tokens? Zombie tokens only, not zombies. So now we go Rugged Highlands and Farfinder and get some more green. Still no good attacks. Shaman, I'm like, this is so much better than that Highland game right now, that this can make something a worthy attacker. I could float some mana to be scary, but it's nobody's fooled. And it's quickly revealed to be nothing anyway. You're a queen of ice. Are we trading this for a Farfinder? Not with Pledge of Unity. We can take this. I don't see why we should. We're for 1 point when we have a pledge. It's going to make it all great. Now, are we Nissaing or Scorching? Might want to get a little bit wider here before we Nissa, but also Nissa is just amazing. Can we just go ahead and Nissa and start setting up for all that mana next turn? Like, next turn gets huge if we are Nissaing, and we have a pretty good defense. But I'm going to play it extra careful and just Scorch here. Next turn, if we draw an untapped source, or even with the Seer, like Seer plus Forest means we can Nissa, untap Forest, and get the pledge. Math doing the math along with me, saw the same thing. Water Trap might hold down the Seer again. Makes some sense. That would mean we need to draw an untapped land to do the Nissa pledge plan. All right, now the Nissa pledge plan is still in effect. Really don't care about light damage here. We take anything that we get attacked with. Kind of hope we draw a basic anyway, then we can even send Seer and still threaten the pledge. Tajik, you say? We could Nissa and play a Tajik. Although, no, we can't. We need to untap a forest for the double mana. So I'm going to go for the Nissa, though. No, I'm going to go. I want to get this Nissa going. Battle Rattle, keep up shelter. Also interesting, I suppose. But, like, look, this is so powerful. This spot, right? Well, we can wait. We don't have to do anything. We can hold here, have pledge up, have shelter up, and do all that stuff next turn too. I think that's fine. We certainly don't need to be hyper aggro here. So that means I am just going to go ahead and pledge here. This is going to get tapped. Let's pledge and make everything huge for potential multi-blocks next turn. Means we don't get to keep up shelter, but I like... and it means we actually tap Seer and Forest, but we have 4 2/2s to manage all of this stuff. And 4 2/2s, I think, can get it done with Nissa at 6. I mean, if we trade a Scampering Scorcher for 3 spells, I don't see how we lose with Nissa out. Seer taps for mana, and Forest taps for double because of Nissa. Because Nissa's busted. Because Nissa is busted. So now we go... Forest for the mana... Untap it. And Tajik. And then we still get shelter. Or we can just do, we can even get Rattle if we use the Seer. We can even keep up shelter and Rattle if we were going to do it this way, which I am. Oh, wait, no. Red. Red, thank you. Okay, there we go. And grow Tajik to get that mega first strike. Or mega shelter. Yeah, no first strike, but still the shelter is real good here. And do we want to send anything not... this is all the Vigilant stuff in the Tajik. And I'm trying to decide if we send anything else. Queen of Ice gets to eat something, basically. So if we send one, I want to send many. And we have enough Vigilance that I think we can. You don't like sending these, Math? But I don't know. Like they get to eat something, that's fine. I like sending. Yeah. But that's why we send 4 2/2s. And the crackback is not that great because we have 1, 2, 3 defenders on the backside. If they take all of this, I guess we could leave. We're either sending the 4 or like none. I'm gonna do it this way. Had to decide. Yeah, I'm being overprotective of Nissa more than anything. And unfortunately, I don't know. I don't like how I did this because now I got to use Shelter on Tajik. I just wish I had thought, maybe even waited on Tajik until we had the first strike mana. But the Shelter will do some work here. Well, if we were able to give Tajik first strike at 5 power, we might not need to shelter it. We might have the first strike to clear the way through. Yeah, we could also let Tajik trade. It's true. We could save the land if we want to save the land instead. But I like getting rid of the queen here. Trade a land for the queen. And yeah, I think we get to keep mentoring. It's worth saving. I'm going to save Tajik. Land's more expendable than me with Nissa making more into threats. How do we lose from this spot is always a great question. Languish is about it, yeah. We still have red. I shouldn't have used that Highland, you're right, but I can leave the Seer back. But it unfortunately makes me have to leave the Seer back, which I shouldn't have had to do. And let's see, I like making a land a 4/4. Don't make me time you out, True. Magic's hard, and I don't need snark. Rattle will take out the thing that it can. And we'll first strike Tajik. I beat him. I'll take it. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but we got there. First strike beats lifelink, sure does. Nice. Finals! So let's take it down. Seems good to me. Well, it's especially confusing for me, True, because I don't know what you were saying that I did wrong. Because all that is to me is... True says I did something wrong. I don't even know what it is. He just thinks I'm a doofus, and I don't even know why I'm a doofus. All right. disconnect from that. And are we waiting? Yeah, we can take a look at the deck while we're waiting. Thank you, Krishna. Kind of wish I'm going to stick with, I don't know if there's tournament rules in here, like I'm supposed to stick with my opening build or not, but I kind of want to cut Highland Game and add the Battle Rattle. I mean, think of just last game, the difference between Battle Rattle and Highland Game on the on the texture of that battlefield. Yeah, I figured we're probably waiting. We won a fairly quick 2-0 there, so could go scout the competition, but Disco Dragon, go sit in the corner and think about what you've become. But let's see if we look at this, spread out a bit. My wife and I have been watching Star Trek Discovery. We're on season 3, episode 2-ish. And early on, like, they're jogging through the ship, which is funny. First, like, apparently, like, you exercise in the ship where oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that Hat and Siriana are both like, oh, that's unfortunate. I love hating the show, but it feels wrong. It feels like why am I watching? I'm just watching this because they've branded Star Trek on it, and I'm not watching, like, what's the name of the sci-fi that I'm supposed to be watching? The one that just got re-upped. That's like hard sci-fi, spacefaring. Expanse, yes. Like, how am I watching? I'm watching Discovery and not Expanse. It's like, it's probably completely wrong, but we do get a lot of fodder in terms of making fun of Discovery. But one of the things that confused me at first is they go jogging through the ship. You know, they're doing their exercise in the ship, jogging, like, watch out, you guys walking in the hallway. This is where we run around here, which I think is funny. And then, but their shirts say disco on it. It said disco. And my wife and I didn't get it at first. And we're like, disco? Is disco still alive and well 300 years from now? Like, I wanted to hear their playlist. Then we realized, oh, it's short for Discovery. I get it. So I see Disco Dragon and think maybe you're just a dragon that's on the Discovery crew. But Disco is very soft sci-fi. Discovery, like, none of it makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense ever. But I like some of the characters. I mean, it does, it's doing some time travel stuff, and I like time travel stories, although it does time travel terribly too. Like, I like a nice tight time travel story, and this one is kind of like, whatever. Yeah, Siriana, it's also interesting though, like, Discovery is very much an action show. It's violent and bloody and action-packed, and there was some of that in the old school shows. But like the old school Trek, which I consider to be basically next, the 90s and earlier Trek, like, is all about, it's very heady sci-fi. It's not action sci-fi. It is let's go to this planet and get in trouble with their weird laws and then go to court and we'll have a courtroom drama in space. Right? It's like, that's old school Trek. And like new Trek is like, bow, 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 attack, shoot, blow up, everything's blowing up. And feels more Star Wars somehow than Trek now. But I guess they feel like this is what the modern audience expects from their TV show. Yeah, it's just lasers and teleporting. It's no thoughtful how to manage this diplomatic situation with a new first contact situation. I miss the old school. Maybe I need to go rewatch Star Trek Next Gen, and then in doing that would come to realize all the ways in which Next Gen is a lot worse than I remember it. So I probably don't want to do that either. I like Voyager's Janeway, right? I liked Janeway. Yeah, right. Like, if you're going to do time travel in Star Trek, you're supposed to go back and meet famous authors from the 1800s. Next Gen holds up. That's good to know, Rob. Which is to say the best of it holds up. I mean, I can name some episodes of that show that are just terrible, but that's okay. You can have some bad ones. Yeah, Voyager's a really cool premise. Truly, no one's been here before. Good luck. Well, I don't want to do too many spoilers, but Discovery operates both alternate universe theories and time travel stuff. It's all mixed together. Like that's the coolness of their ship. And I guess the ship isn't the time travelers. So it's unusual for a series to like jam together alternate universes and time travel all at once, but they did it. Yeah, every Trek has done time travel. I haven't really watched much of the original series, but can you show me a Star Trek series that didn't do some time travel? How do you not do some time travel in your space show? I really like the Next Gen episode where like Picard is in kind of a weird fugue state and repeating the same thing, and then a copy of him repeats exactly the same thing he does. There's this where they're moving through the ship at exactly the same gait. I mean, you can't have the space without the time. It is the space-time continuum. And, approach a black hole and it's kind of like time travel, right? You can get time travel out of hard science. But yeah, I should watch The Expanse or rewatch Firefly or... That's the kind of tension that we used to have, Siriana. Play it safe or get an injury that might kill you later. But now we're in Pew Pew land. That's cool. You can just get Trek Anytime, Rob, the All Trek channel. Keep an eye on the other game for me, if you will. I'm keeping an eye on Discord here, but BSG was good to a point. It did not stick its landing, but Battlestar was a worthy watch. My big problem with Battlestar is that when you make me hate some characters, when you make me loathe some characters because of your good writing and your good manipulation of my poor emotions, you make me loathe that character had better pay At some point, that character had better pay for being so loathsome. And BSG fails to punish its loathsome characters. So I felt very betrayed at the end of that. Like, really? He's just the worst human in all of human history, and turns out like no, that's fine? No. Exactly, Marjorie. That's why I watch TV. Real life doesn't seem to punish its loathsome characters, so you turn to fiction to get a piece of it. Clearly not enough, Rob. BSG board game has the same lie to people problem that I don't like, but it's a little better than something like Werewolf or the Sus game everybody loves. We are 4-0 looking. In fact, here, I'll update the record. It's a 5-round event. We did make the finals, so. Agreed, Rob. The correct ending for Battlestar Galactica, spoiler alert. The correct ending, and would have been really kind of poetic and beautiful, would have been to end it. And maybe this is the season 3 you're talking about. I don't remember exactly where stuff ended, Rob. But when they make it back to Earth. They make it to Earth. And it is so perfect. They should have just stopped when they made it back to Earth. The OG. The planet we're on right now. No. Well, then are you sure? I thought they made it to the real. I thought they made it to this here planet. Oh, right. No, sorry. Their Earth. I want them to make it back to their OG Earth. Sorry. Yeah, the desolate one. Their Earth. It's been a long time since I watched it, but yes. I think it would have been cool if it was basically a Planet of the Apes style ending, you know? Oh, crap, it's the Statue of Liberty. This is Earth, and it's wrecked, right? That's what I wanted. Just a nice Planet of the Apes style ending. I don't know if they suffered any writer's strike issues or not. Some close games, yeah, Tron. Some blowouts, but some ones that were like, well, we got 2 turns to win or we're dead, and then we found a way. We're talking Trek, talking sci-fi, televised sci-fi, and what's good and what's not. Yeah, whatever. I know. Like, it's not that, but it would have been poetic. I would rather have it unfinished and poetic than a finished train wreck, which is what I felt like I got. Well, I kind of rioted anyway in my own head because it didn't end well. I thought the ending was lousy and the incomplete ending, but I'm not saying fully just stop it exactly as they did it, but have them get to their original planet, have it be actual original Earth, and have it be uninhabitable, and have them be there trying to figure out how to rebuild or something. I don't know, but I certainly didn't like where the series ended up in the final season. Tuesday's looking it up for us. No, that's why we're waiting, Tron. But you can keep an eye on it. I'm going to let myself be surprised by what deck I see, but... Deck has had just enough tools and one Mega Bomb. Got 17 lands, including our 2 spell lands, and that's a little light, but we do have Druid of the Cowl, Farfinder, and Cultivate, and Seer. So we have 4 3 or less spells that also help us mana up. And Meteorite also does, but at 5, I'm not really counting it as ramp, although it has done the job. I've gone Meteorite, used the 1 mana left over to shock something. That was good. Berserker. I suppose. Not doing anything else right now.
Come on, Berserker. Girls think sexy.
My love for you
Hey, Mario.
is like a truck berserker.
Yeah, Meteorite face for lethal was pretty good against G-Guards there. I'm going to go find that updated beverage I have, a cold beverage instead of this lukewarm. Well, Rob, I can play you the meme, but it's not up to me now, is it? Here you go, though. Oh, that's got to be in this view, though. Got to go back here. And then you get this.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, blah, blah, blah.
Is today's hectic... Is today's hectic lifestyle making you tense and impatient?
Shut up and get to the point.
Oh, sorry. I was muted, but that wasn't right. You don't need to hear me, you just need to hear the clip. Thanks for hanging. I suppose I could take somebody on casually. Maybe I'll just I'll start playing a standard game again. That'll get things going. Completely net deck teamer ramp. Who needs even mana spells when you have a ton of foretell and adventures? Uh-oh, getting milled is rough because this deck is very sensitive about its lands and searchable basics. So getting your basics milled can make things rough for your cultivates and whatnot. And let's see, we'll like Mountain, and I guess we could Brazen. Yeah, I'm just gonna Brazen to do some stuff, make him replay stuff. It doesn't do much, but I can't saw it coming here. Yeah, we can do Miller time. Also, I don't work too hard to even worry about games like this. I'm just trying to kill time. Looks like maybe is the
Welcome to Miller Time. It's brewed here.
all right, looks like they finished up. I'm gonna scoop it up. Sorry, Oppo. Free win for you. Isaiah. Let's get it. Feature match 1A. I got a challenge pending. We'll see if it works. I don't know. So now we're in that awkward spot. Should I wait? Should I cancel this? Okay, so does it look like it's not showing up? But is the challenge over there? Okay, well, I'll cancel out. Okay. There's been a negotiation for third place instead of a match. Should I try again? I'll try again. Why not? More that one was tired and the other wasn't. Not tired beat tired 2-0. Just bragging rights, Tron. Just bragging rights, but I sure like those. Coffee? Nobody told me I was playing for coffee. Highest stakes event ever. Unless it's terrible coffee, in which case I don't care. I'll make my own. All right. Well, if Isaiah's doing an interview, I will not bother with a challenge. I'll be patient. Pineapple Labs coffee. Now I gotta go look it up. Well, the beans they are showing are not oily and burnt for the most part, so that's a good start. The best roast is a city plus Ethiopian, preferably from the Yirgacheffe region, which is what I had this morning and what I have most mornings. Here, I'll link you to my current brew. Let's see. Here it is. No, I don't like any coffee on the outside anymore. I'm a big crank. But here's my current bean. Yeah, I'm about 30 seconds past first crack. I don't buy, I order at sweetmarias.com. In fact, I've literally reached out to Sweet Maria's and said, you know, sponsor me. I would love to talk about you for dollars. But they didn't. Hey, Garrett. Welcome, G-Guards and friends. Thank you. Glad to have you. Tron asks, do I have a preferred fast food or easy access coffee you like the most? Yeah, like, I just don't drink coffee. I only drink coffee in the mornings. Like, I basically have 16 ounces in the morning and then I'm done. Although I roasted some decaf recently and actually liked the results. Caffeine really messes with my sleep if I drink it after about 11. But I also don't need coffee so much that I feel like I need to go out of the way to make decaf. I'll just drink something else in the afternoons. Cool. Yeah, I mean, people figure that I drink black coffee all day long, and instead I drink 16 ounces of cream and sugared coffee in the morning, and that's it. But let me tell you, still matters that it's incredibly fresh, good, delicious coffee. Are we out of memes? Could be. You can make some manual requests. Happy to deliver some memes as we wait. Oh, challenge hanging? Okay. Well, let me try a challenge back. See if that does anything to... Oops. That's a link to my current coffee. I don't think that's going to work in the direct challenge system. But now I've lost the name. Where is it? There it is. We'll try you again, Isaiah. How about this? How about this? And here we go. I should update this record. Oh no, that is correct. This is for 5-0 and all the marbles. Let's get there, gang. Ugh. This is almost a mulligan with the 4 planes. 4 planes is effectively a mulligan already. And I bet we can do better than Greenwood Sentinel and a Turret Ogre we can't cast. So I'm going to ship this back. There we go. That looks much better. We ship a forest, and this hand is great compared to that other one. If we can find other things to do and somehow make it to 6 mana and kick the migration before we pledge, that would be great. Well, we're grab bagging. This looks great to me, Tron. Oh, you mean the other one? Maybe this is this lag you're talking about. Oh, Cultivate is so good. That's going to let us cultivate on 3, and we should be able to kick this migration. And a Scorcher? What have I done to deserve this? I'm going to play Scorcher now and then Cultivate next turn. Right? I think if we Cultivate now... Well, if we Cultivate now, we can kick Migration next turn. Now I'm going to go Scorcher. I think it doesn't really matter, and this gets us good attacks right now. Nice smack. Frost Links on the mana is fine. We're going to take a moment here to go ahead and cultivate. Getting, do we want more red? We don't really need more red. We need more green because of Nissa. So I probably just want 2 forests here. Yeah, I should definitely be kicking it here. Can we do, what can we do? Can we do most? Let's see. Nah, we can kick the Migration, and the next turn we get Tajik Pledge. That's kind of doing it all. That seems great. Ashiok, not very good in this sitch, and got 3 lands in my worst spell, so I think that's pretty good. And here, Tajik with the surprise pledge after we attack should be great. Shouldn't need to first strike Tajik. I expect a 1 block on him, and the pledge gets us there. And where are we putting this Tajik mentorship? I guess on the Druid. Let's make the Druid bigger. Yeah, oh yeah, we're ignoring Ashiok. This is one of those games where Ashiok is a bad card that is not going to really affect things too much, I don't think. I think we're all right. That's a heck of a mold of 6 right there. We'll take that one. Frost Links, Ashiok, a lot of defensive stuff. We got the front foot, but really good defensive stuff against us. Yeah, we're going to bring that Battle Rattle in, right? That was such an upgrade to the Highland game. That's just a straight up change I should have done from the deck building standpoint. Maniacal Rage, not good enough. I think we just set ourselves up for a 2-for-1 that I don't want to do. This one. I'm less inclined to run a Ramparts when the type of removal we're facing in blue, black, splash, red is predominantly bounce, freezing, destroy target, where making +3/+3 doesn't actually stop the removal, where if we went against red, you know, it stops the removal. So I'm just going to run this back like this. I didn't see enough else to... Yeah, that's an interesting suggestion, JMaz. Maniacal Rage. Is it your stuff? Enchantress? Yeah. If you wanted to remove blockers, Maniacal Rage does indeed remove a blocker. Pretty high price to pay for that. But it does that trick. All right, this is a fine keep. Shock available, Pegasus on 2, something to do in the mid. We just need to find anything in the deck is going to be a decent draw for us. We take lands, we take some spells. I mean, I guess expensive spells would be the thing that we don't want to draw, but any kind of mix of cheaper spells and lands is going to be great here. Scaldron chucks around 3 damage, but none of our individual creatures that are 3 toughness or less are that important. Ooh, almost played the forest. Oops. We got there, though. Cultivate because coming up Millhouse today, I guess. Want a plains and plains in a forest here. Umari into Druid with an opponent stuck on 2. Looks like it's going to be an anticlimactic finish, but I'll take it. Oop, don't do that, Ryan. And make sure, okay, the right land is left over. Sorry, Isaiah. Windrider Wizard is going to get a shocking result here. We still get to drop the giant because of our collector. All right, gang, how about that? Easy game, right? Easy game. All right. That's a respectable finish. Thanks, Marsh. Appreciate it. We have won ourselves a Sweatsuit Invitational. Feels good, man. Feels good. Some rough ones to start out this event, and now we got the whole shebang. Thank you for the sub, Frank. Welcome to the gang around here. Yeah, you want a hair toss? Gotta give you a hair toss.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
I want to see if they want to do... I don't know if they want to interview me or anything. Seems like they've been talking to people, but maybe they're scared of me trying to operate Discord. I don't blame them. Right on, Garrett. Happily raid Zach. We won legitimacy. We won proof that Nissa is good. Sure. All right, event coverage. So let's find that. Here we go. Hello. I'm in the room. I've unmuted. I don't know if I'm stepping on toes here, but I was told to go in here. I'll mute myself for now, but I have ears on. If they... Hunter Pence, thank you so much for running this thing. Really appreciate it. Glad to make a deep run. Thank you for having me. Thank you for keeping this going week after week. What an event. And Hunter, you can't fool me. I know how it goes. You're only you are only pulling this off because of your incredible mods, right, Hunter? Right? Come on. Fess up. If you didn't have incredible mods, this wouldn't happen. I know how that goes. So good on you for attracting incredible mods. And awesome that you are streaming Magic. I can't wait to tell my brother-in-law that I won your tournament. He thinks Magic's for nerds. He's right, but nerds are awesome. Let's see. Still not hearing. Am I supposed to? I don't know. Is Coral Sword talking to Isaiah right now? Or I'm in the room but muted, but I'm also not hearing anything, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing anything. Exactly. Happy nerds. So sweet. Thanks for doing this event. Look forward to defending my title next week. Oh, sure. Oh, I can unmute, but hello? Okay. Now it's me. I hope I wasn't talking over anybody accidentally there. Yeah, I'll unmute. There we go. Well, I did it on purpose. I didn't want to step on anybody. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Well, then why can't I hear it? I don't hear your questions. So what do I need to do to hear? Might be some weird thing where Discord is using my wrong... yeah, it's probably this. Hold on a second. I can't hear you yet.
Holding.
Hey, there we go. We got you.
Hunter's in here as well. So, Hunter, go ahead and talk about congratulating.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Your deck was the mana curve was beautiful, as we said before. It was really cool to see the go wide in a chaos draft. Did you expect to get that many go wide cards when you were drafting?
No, we just took what was good in the packs, and let's see, what did we get that was go wide? We got the Sapperlings and the Scampering Scorcher. I don't know if
I was wondering if you had more than just those two.
I think we just had those two, and they just put on a show there in the last game.
They certainly did.
Nice mulligan there.
I was expecting something like a trumpet blast, and you had the +1/+1 the team, and I was like, "Oh, this is over."
The anthem's coming down. I think really
yeah,
epic. So.
Did you have another sort of pump the whole team card?
Yeah, we had 3 of those. We had the Spell Land that for 5 mana +2/+2s at sorcery speed. We had the Zendikar Kicker one that +2/+1s at 4 mana, and then the one you saw there in the finals, the +1 counters to everything.
Interesting. That sounds great.
Yeah,
I wish I could have given you a little bit better of a match, but you rolled me.
Yeah, that was about as hard as it rolled all night long. We had much more board stall-y games earlier when it was like, well, hope we can get wide enough to get around this, and so it worked all night basically. And as somebody pointed out in my chat, Nissa kind of is go wide too when you get to turn a land into a 3/3 every turn.
Yeah, it's good. I heard it's good.
Nissa, wow.
Yeah, Hunter, go ahead and say what you need to say. I think you have some prizes to give away.
Oh yeah, GoingOptimal. Make sure. By the way, congrats.
Thank
it was
you.
a beautifully drafted deck. I'm not streaming because I'm in a hotel room, so I hope you hear me clearly right now. But I want to say it was awesome to watch. I definitely watched because you beat me, and I passed you some of those cards.
Thank you.
And I have to say, dealing with a 10-10 in round 2, I was like, no way he's going to be able to do this. And he had fight spells and he had palm spells, and you had everything to match. And you won without the Nissa. You won with just going wide, nice. Like, you built a brilliant deck. And I want to say congratulations. Yeah, and we are going to send you some Pineapple Labs coffee. Just make sure you either send Spadone or send me, if you have my Discord info, your address and where, if you want the coffee.
Oh yeah,
it's my thank you to your great performance. We enjoyed watching all of the games. I actually didn't watch you in the semis because I knew your deck was so good. I watched the other match, which was insane. But like, I love the drama, the way these unfold. And just talk, like I think they already asked you a little bit about, what you built, but I do have to say I passed the 3/3 elemental spirits, and I knew how good they were, but I just was not red. There was no red cards passed my way. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the deck hookup and the coffee hookup. As my chat knows quite well, I'm a home roaster. I roast my own coffee, so looking forward to it.
For 12 years, I love being around roasting coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, really awesome. Yeah. Dude, we're
talking to the ultimate coffee
right
wizard of roasting, which is David from Coral Sword.
Oh, neat. Very cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Hey, maybe we can send you some greens too. So
if you love it. If you got green coffee to send me, that's even better. I love roasted fresh.
We'll send it in the same box because it's coming from the same place. So when you get your Pineapple Labs box, I will make sure there's some greens.
David is actually the magic, a big part of the magic of the Pineapple Labs. So it's Alexis is like the creative, but David is the coffee genius, and his team. He has a great team. So we hope, that's cool that you have the greens to send, David.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Hey, he said the magical words of being a home roaster, which means that like you're gonna get some fun stuff to roast up at the house. But that's a grand prize for you.
My neighbor turned me into one. I call it's like vampirism. You sire other roasters, So I've got I was sired by my neighbor down the street. I've sired about 4 or 5 roasters in my life, and
makes sense. Coffee makes me feel like I'm going to live forever. So
yeah, there you go.
Yes, yes. On that same regard, that's how we all are going to live forever. Is just the vast amounts of coffee we're consuming. Well, hey, that's awesome that both of y'all are coffee fans and incredible Magic players, people to look up to for sure. So congrats on honestly, like y'all are both in the finals against amazing players. I mean, that's the cool thing about what you put together here is like the amount of talent of the players involved is epic. And for y'all to get all the way to the finals, I mean, congrats, Isaiah. We want to see you back.
I had so much fun the first 4 weeks I watched, or 3 weeks I watched of it. It's just like, it's so much fun to watch on, as a spectator, and being able to bounce around and watch all the matches and the drafts. It's so incredible that you guys put this on. And I'm happy to have the for to play in it even once. If I get to come back, it's just all gravy from there.
Me too. Great fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for pitching in and joining in and making this what it is, which is an awesome, just fun, casual event that is full of talent. And Hunter, thanks for hosting this every week.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys for covering it. And get ready for Strixhaven because I'm coming for you all next week.
Oh yeah, I will.
That's what's up.
Title defense incoming. Title defense incoming.
Gotta defend that title. Don't pull the Daddy T and walk away, man. That was rude. We gotta all get them crap about that.
That's right.
Oh,
have a great night.
man.
Great
all right.
performance,
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Appreciate y'all.
Good night.
Later.
Fun interview. Look. I can be old man about tech and everything, but Discord is extra hard. And Discord is extra hard when it resets my default speaker setting. I got like 7 things that could be my speaker noise. I'm so lucky I resolved it as quickly as I did. But I think we're good for next time anyway. I've never timed you out before, Mama, but there's the first time for everything. Boomer. Discord is a mess. And you know it. Mama also knows that I wouldn't. I'm too scared. All right, gang. I'm going to hop to Soapbox. That was a blast. I know, right? That's why I say it's Russian malware, Rob, because of the name. Like, only the Russians would set out to make malicious social media software and call it Discord. Yep, 13 hours, and we will be back here looking to battle against chat in the final Kaldheim gauntlet. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to win green coffee beans to roast. I'm so excited. I'm going to hop right off air here and go give my address to the Hunter Pence folks so I can try that out. Sweet. All right. Thanks, YouTube friends. We've had some fits and starts trying to make a deep run in this thing, and then we made the deepest of runs and finished it off. Right on. All right. I don't think am I even following Zach yet? Zach started streaming without me knowing, kind of. So I get to follow him here, give him a follow, and then gonna raid coming right up now. I'm gonna say goodbye to YouTube though. Bye, YouTube friends. We'll see you at the next event. Okay.